might have noticed as you become a new parent that there are so many people around you with really strong opinions or great advice or lots of certain tips that they might be offering your way. Well, that's all well and good, but some of that advice may not really fit with you, and it might be because it just doesn't match what your baby's like, or it doesn't match because it doesn't feel right. So part of this process is that you're trying to find your way as a parent through a particular maze. And part of that is thinking about, well, what this task is about me building up my sense of judgment about what's the right thing to do, and that may not just appear on day one. It might be something that you just keep working away at and building up your confidence in that regard. And I would encourage you to just trust that will emerge. And even if that hasn't been there in the first couple of weeks, don't be worried about that. More just think, I'm building this and it's like a skill that I'm building.
Sometimes you just know what to do, sometimes you don't, and that's when you refer to kind of books or, I guess close advice from family members. And I've kind of just used that as a guide, but also not taken it too seriously, because then you start getting to a point where you go, oh, my child's not saying 5 words. Like, for instance, the other day I was looking up at what a 19-month should be doing, and Oliver says like 5 words, and it's like, they should have 20 words. And then you start overreacting, thinking they've got some speech disorder. When you ask around, and a lot of people say, no, he's just really physical, and that's what he's working on now, and he'll talk when he'll talk. So, yeah, I've been getting my information from a variety of sources, but trying to kind of analyse what's real in this situation and what not to take on.
Part of what you need to understand as a new parent is conflicting advice. And this is not about you being dictated to by experts or people who are very passionate about these subjects. This is about you taking on board what they might have to say, but then letting yourself find your answer, what feels right for you and your partner in terms of what fits best for your baby. Because at the end of the day, often what works for babies are kind of very individual factors that don't necessarily match your baby. Having said that, there are times as a parent where you've got to know what to trust. So you've got to know to trust your gut instinct. Because if you've got a feeling that something's not right, just act on that. If you really feel like something's not right here, then that's when you act on that gut feeling and you go down to your GP. And if there was nothing wrong with your baby, you've lost nothing.
You can't avoid information when you're a new parent. It's just, thrust on you. But I think you just sort of got to keep your mind open for, a specific thing.
Things that you need for your family.
Yeah, you'll identify stuff that's like, I actually really need some advice with that.
I mainly try to get advice when I go and ask people for certain questions. You ask the people that you know will be helpful.
I think the scariest part is when you feel isolated. And I went through a period like that where I felt isolated, felt by myself. And to find a group of people that you can either learn from or just discuss what's going on. Because I remember early days when Charlie my little boy was a baby and wouldn't go to sleep. One of the most comforting thoughts I had was walking up and down the hallway rocking him to sleep, was that at the same time there was maybe 100 other dads in 5-kilometre radius of me doing exactly the same thing. Just that idea of being part of this silent little category of blokes gave me a lot of comfort that it wasn't just me that was up at 3 o'clock in the morning trying to do this.
Whether you're one parent or 2 parents, you need other people. It's a community that helps build a child, and that's become really important for me, that Oliver has family around him, because they shape the way you grow up. We've all been shaped by our grandparents and uncles and aunts, so that's been really important for me.
My family's in South Australia. I'm in New South Wales, so I don't have much support. It's been hard. You have the parents of your kids' friends are a big thing. You find people that you trust and that you like. But I think the biggest support I've had are the parents of my kids' friends.
I want people to know that there are other people around them who will be a source of support and sometimes advice. And often that advice, is something you've got to work with. You don't take it always on face value, but it gives you something to think about. And that's what's key in finding your way through the maze of parenting.
Bringing up a baby is not always easy, and it's important to realise that you can ask for help. And the great thing is there's a lot of help out there for little or no cost if you know where to look. For many parents, extended family is the first place to go for help or advice. You may have already consulted a lactation consultant at the hospital or visited your local early childhood health centre or community centre. Your GP is a good first point of call for many health concerns you may have, both for your baby and for yourself, and can refer you on to many other services. There are specialist organisations that can give hands-on help if you feel that you're really struggling with settling and sleeping issues.
This room is typical of most of the rooms. Some of them have a slightly different layout. This room here has got a double bed. There's an ensuite bathroom through to the back, which has got a little bath which can be used for a toddler bath also. And this room here is what we call the baby nursery. And this is where the baby comes to do its little bit of sleeping. And for the first 24 hours, the staff are actually doing the settling, so the baby's closer to where we can hear it. But then we bring the baby around here, as you can see, close to the parent, so the baby and the parent are together. And we can access the nursery easily from the outside, and we can also help the parent while they're doing the settling. Also an outdoor area that comes off this main play area. So this is where we encourage the mums and dads to come and pop their little ones down on the floor and do some playtime. This is a really lovely spot, and particularly if the weather's not too hot, you'll often find a lot of babies around playtime out here using these ride-on toys. And as I said, the parents will sometimes bring their meals out here as well. So we have a nursing staff team which comprises a number of different expertises, and we also have the psychology, social work and psychiatry team. It's a really easy service to access. It's available to everybody. There are similar services in other states.
Sometimes you just need to share strategies and talk about challenges you're all facing. You can check with the local child health centres to find a local mothers or fathers group, and there are also some specialist parents groups out there. Another great place to get to know some other parents in your area is down at the local playground. The Raising Children website is also a great source of in-depth information for parents and other carers.